Yep.
But before I get kicked off stage again, I want to address the elephant in the room, because a lot of us that are in that come to the Dipatoe show, they're very well aware of the news that dropped today, and that is the acquisition of, I don't know if you say Swyftx or SWYFTX. It's a big Australian crypto exchange that is acquiring you for $66 million. What is the deal with that, and what does that mean? Because I was excited earlier to talk about later in the show the fact that you're coming to the United States, and that is a really big deal for a lot of people to be able to go to a physical building and say, like, what's happening with my stuff, So what's the deal with this acquisition that's happened today, or the news that
Yeah.
broke
So
today?
yeah. So the acquisition is from an Australian exchange called Swyftx. I'll just dispel any sort of FTX name sort of correlation between that and FTX.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I get it.
So it's
I get it.
Swift. Yeah.
Swyftx.
Swyftx. Yeah. So Swyftx is, I would say, the largest Australian exchange. It certainly has the best market share here in Australia. It's one of the more reputable exchanges as well, but they're predominantly and only an Australian exchange. So they don't have no US presence or client base. So really the purpose of their acquisition with us is that they love our brokerage model. Obviously, their business model is to operate purely as an exchange, which is very different to how we operate. So they've noticed that. They see that this is a really differentiated product offering. They love everything from our brokerage model to the custody and everything that we do here. So really, they've acquired us to help expand and really accelerate our offering to the US market. For them to have, gotten sort of the market share that we're slowly getting within the US market would have taken them probably 4 or 5 years. So for them, they see this as a really great growth acquisition with us to accelerate their offerings within the US market, but also allow us to continue to do what we do with no changes to our business model and how we operate, but actually be able to enter the market with more resources and be able to really grow and scale a lot quicker than we would have done by ourselves. So I want to stress for anyone on this call that nothing will change in terms of how we operate. We're a completely separate business from Swyftx, but just naturally now we have more resources to continue to expand our team, continue to expand our presence within the US market, and really double down to ensure that any new clients that come through the door are still given that top tier personalized service.
Fantastic. Thank you for addressing that. So it doesn't really sound like a traditional acquisition, bought and sold and go through the standard trimming the fat of the business that was bought, and not so much a hostile takeover, but just this sounds more of a partnership, more or less, without being in the legal framework of a partnership. Is that a little bit? Is that the little bit of the sentiment that maybe you're seeing with this deal?
Yeah, definitely. So you're right in the sense that a lot of acquisitions are really not a hostile takeover, but they often are for analogous businesses where they can almost gut a lot of the employees and really just take on the clients. This is very different just naturally because, look, they have no US clients. They don't do the service that we do. So they've really bought us because they believe in this business model. They believe in what we've built since 2016. So in fact, they just want to accelerate a lot of what we do and provide more funding so we can grow our team quicker.
Smart.
And naturally, we have all the necessary licenses to operate within the US. For them to do that and start that process themselves would have taken a really long time and a lot of conversations, a lot of procedures with a whole range of different US states. So for them, this really helps accelerate their growth within the US. But you're exactly right in the sense that they don't want to break anything when it's working, right? They understand that this is a completely different business offering. And so they want us to continue to operate and do the things that we do with our clients. And really, it's really true when I do say it's business as usual here. We'll continue to operate as we have, for the last 9 years. But now we'll be able to enter into the US market a lot quicker than what we probably would have been able to do just by ourselves.